Tears as appeal court affirms death sentence for Mariam Sandra. The Court of Appeal in Abuja on Friday upheld the conviction and death sentence that was handed to Mariam Sandra, daughter-in-law to a former chairman of the People Democratic Party (PDP), Mr. Mohammed Bello Haliru. The appelled court, in an unanimous judgment by a three-man panel of justices led by Justice Stephen Adder, said it found no reason to set aside the verdict of a High Court of the Federal Capital Territory, which okayed Mariam to die by hanging. It held that the 20 grounds of appeal Mariam filed to challenge her conviction and sentence lacked merit and deserved to be dismissed. Mariam, who was on January 27 found guilty of stabbing her husband, Benjamin Bello, a real estate developer, to death at their Abuja residence in 2017, had in her appeal maintained that she was denied fair hearing by the trial court. She accused the trial judge, Justice Yusuf Halilu, of bias, insisting that he relied on circumstantial and hearsay evidence to sentence her to death. The convict told the appellate court that there was lack of confessional statements, absence of murder weapon, lack of corroboration of evidence by two witnesses, and lack of autopsy report to determine the true cause of her husband's death. Insisting that the trial court's judgment occasioned a grave miscarriage of justice against her, Mariam begged the appellate court to discharge and accuse her of the culpable homicide charge that led to her conviction. She argued that the failure of the trial judge to rule on a preliminary objection she filed to challenge the charge against her and jurisdiction of the court to entertain same based on evidence of bias and lack of fair hearing she raised rendered the judgment a nullity. According to her, the trial judge erred in law when, having taken argument on a preliminary objection to the validity of the charge on the 19th of March 2018, failed to rule on it at the conclusion of the trial or at any other time. Besides, she alleged that the judge erred and misdirected himself by usurping the role of the police when he assumed the duty of an investigating police officer (IPO). She quoted the trial judge to have said, "I wish to state that I have a duty thrust upon me to investigate and discover what will satisfy the interest and demand of justice." Mariam, through her lawyer, Mr. J.K. Gadazama San, maintained that the trial judge failed to restrict himself to the evidence that was adduced before the court. The court usurpation of the duty of the police by taking it upon itself to investigate and discover negatively color its assessment of the available evidence and resulted in it reaching an unjust decision contrary to the evidence before it, she argued. She prayed the appellate court to set aside her conviction and the sentence imposed by the High Court judge and acquit her of the charge. Thank you for listening to this news. Well, it's so disheartening and so disappointing that this judgment um, befall a beautiful lady like this. Well, I would say that she actually caused this judgment on herself. Because you see, my viewers, no matter what may have transpired between one and his husband, no matter what, you don't have the right to take someone's life. No matter what may have transpired, even if the man is taking advantage of you, the best thing to do is to run away from that man. Okay, see what she has done to herself now. And see the kind of judgment that has been levied on her. Now she is going to be hanged by death. She's now sentenced by hanging. My viewers, what are we to say about this? You can see. See, this is a law, and you cannot escape the law. You cannot escape it. This is what she invited to herself. She caused all that has been levied on her. I don't actually want to know what the arguments or what they may have transpired between them, but the bone of contention here is that she went on and stabbed the husband to death. Which is a very wrong step and wrong move. You see that? So now, the court has not only sentenced her to life imprisonment, but also have sentenced her to death by hanging. A lady for that matter. A lady for that matter. My viewers, it's so painful. It's so painful that a beautiful lady of this kind should be going through will be going through something of this kind. I really wish your case will be revisited and you'll be granted bail. I really wish. But you can see that luck is so much against you. Yeah. Luck is so much against you. And that is what you caused for yourself. One cannot defend you on this kind of a thing. I think your lawyer may have done his best, but you can see that is the end of what the end of your case has brought to you. May God not allow us to experience such a marriage. I'm telling you. May God not allow us to. So, my viewers, this is what we are at all. This is what we have been saying that should not come to play, that should not be allowed. But as it is, you can see it has happened. So now that it has happened, who are we to blame? Who are we to blame? That is it. So, my viewers, with this that has happened to Mrs. Mariam, I will say that it's a message to the young ladies out there on how to handle their marriage and their spouse, no matter what may be transpiring between them. Okay, so please, my viewers, deem it free to leave your comments below the comment box. Click on the subscription buttons as well as bell button to receive more updates. Thank you.